Okay, I've connected up the, pardon me, let's get a pointer. I've connected up the two cables, and I've marked them socket and PSU, so I know which connects to where. So what I'm doing is I'm using the fixing for the PCB as an anchor for a cable tie, and that's very straightforward. One and out the other. Sorry, my hands are in the way a bit. Right, what I do with the neutral is just put a little bit of a loop in it so it's not with the I brought the latch. I put the latch on the sorry, I'm trying to get you a shot. I put the latch of the cable tie this way so that it doesn't interfere with the corner of the box, and I just noticed my neutral's just pulled out, so give me 2 seconds and I'll get it back in. That's why I wanted to have a loop so that this wouldn't happen. Sorry, my hands are annoying. Okay, there we are. Now, the other thing is, I'll cut that tail up first. Right, the other thing is, I drilled the box. I'll pull out a bit. I'll go the right way around. Right, I drilled the box for the cable to come out over there. Yeah, I've been 180 out. Don't know me left from me right. Anyway, I'll do that now, and then once that's done, I can put it all together. And the next step after this is modifying the power supply. Don't panic, it isn't modifying the electronics, don't worry. But when I show you, you'll know exactly what I mean, and there's a very good reason why I mod it. So I'll bring you back in a bit once I've got myself organised a bit better. I'm going to cut a couple of holes in here and join them up as one, like I did on here, so the cables have got room to move if they get flexed and nothing's pulling on anything. Okay, I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, there it is all finished, and what I've done is I brought the two cables through, and I put a cable tie wrap on the other side, on the inside of the box, so that can't come out. I should put another one on the outside so you can't push it in either. Now I taped the back of this hole because on another project that I'm doing, I should be using 2-part epoxy, so I'll mix up enough just to fill that hole in, and not that anybody will see it, but you know, I know it's there, and it's just aesthetics as far, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. So there you are. The next time you see this, it will be on the machine and ready to hook up the power supply, and then we'll see it in action. Okay, one power supply. Right, now the first thing I'm going to do is take all the screws out, and that includes the fan. Now, if you don't feel competent enough to do this, find somebody who is. Okay? All they've got to do is literally watch the video to see how to go about it. Now, if you're likely to send your power supply back to the supplier if it goes wrong, do not attempt this at all. Leave well alone until it's out of guarantee, because if you break this seal, your warranty is void. Okay, so don't do that if you want to get the supplier to send you a new one. And what I do, I take the fan out, sorry, plug and socket. Makes life so much easier. Now, I don't know if you can see this very well, but the fixing holes in the board are not quite in line. So, in line with the holes in the printed circuit boards, I mean, get a nice long screw. And especially here, I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see what I'm talking about and why I do this modification. There you go, can you see how that's raised up? I put in a fixing screw in the correct hole, so your screw will go through the plastic, in through here. Yes, I agree, it doesn't go in all that far, but if somebody picks up the wrong screw, right, not particularly they're rushing to get their printer built, then you've got a big problem, a very big problem. The bang type problems. Okay, so yeah, all the holes in here are offset. So what I'm going to do now, there's a screw here. So I'm going to ease this label back. It's one of those metallized labels. I'm not taking it right off so I can put it back on afterwards. No, you don't want that one, you want that one, which releases the clamp. And what I do is I put the screw immediately back in the clamp, going through a fair few threads, because that way I don't use the wrong screw. Okay, let me take this one out. Again, that's got a clamp. It just clamps the electronic components that need heat sinking. Pulls them right tight against the aluminium heatsink. Okay, now we've done that, you can take out the screws that hold the board. Which is only one, because the other one that holds it in also holds the cover on. Okay, so what I tend to do is just ease, I don't pull them, just as you sort of heard, it just dropped, so I can now lift this out. Right, I hope you can see all this. I'll have to check the footage and then redo it if necessary. But, oops, this I presume is a MOSFET or power transistor. It's mounted here, and as you can see, one of the fixings to hold the power supply onto the machine is right underneath. So you can imagine if someone put too long a screw in, where the end of that screw is going to go. So this modification is to stop that happening. And it's ever so simple. So I'm just getting some longer screws out. Go over there a minute. That's 2, I want 3. Okay. And what I do is I put the fixing screws from the inside. try and put it in as tight as I can without stripping the thread. Now this one goes there, I think. No, it's not that one. It's that one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay. Okay, so you've got plenty of room, but we're going to do another mod in a minute. Okay. And as you can see, there's no chance of now clobbering the transistor or MOSFET, whatever it is. Okay, I'll do the other two, and then we'll put some nuts on the back. Don't over tighten these, but do them so that they're nice and snug, or more than snug, like that. And as you can only get 3 mountings on this because of the angle, right, we're going to put another one here, and we won't put the 4th one in over here. But I can't emphasize enough, if you don't feel competent doing this, don't do it. Find someone who is, and ask them to do it. Okay? All you've got to do is show them this video, they'll know exactly what to do. And also, if you don't want to invalidate your guarantee, then again, don't do it. Leave it until a year and 5 days has passed. Okay, so now we've got the 3 screws in, but because we're going to be doing something special with this configuration, we're going to need some nuts. Oops. There we go. Okay, now I put a nut on the back so that it's a lot tighter, and the chances of threading it into the board is limited by a great deal. Let's bring you in a bit more. That's better. Okay, so there's the next nut. And number 3. Lock down tight. Make a bit of space. And as you can see, we've still got plenty here, and we're going to use the majority of that thread before we attach it to the side. Now, why am I doing it this way? Because I'm mounting the two MOSFETs above the power supply, and I want the cables to come up along the back of the power supply into the MOSFETs, so you haven't got cables running up and down all over the place. And this will allow all the cables then to run up. But also I've printed a cover that goes on the end to house the socket, and the one I'm using clips over the back of the power supply, so I need to pull the power supply off the acrylic by quite a way for that to be able to slip behind. Okay, right, let's carry on. And also I'm spacing it off enough so that I haven't got long bolts on the inside of the acrylic, just in case one day I make a large print and I don't want it possibly snagging on the... Probably won't, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And also I should be taking Jason's advice and putting washers either side of the acrylic so that there's more compression area and less breaking area. Excuse me. I could have used smaller bolts, but they wouldn't have allowed me to have the gap I want for the cables. So unfortunately I'm going to go with these. That's about it. Find out now. Around. And that's much better. Plenty of gap, sorry. Plenty of gap to get the cables behind. And also, there's very little on the inside. So now I get white paste over my fingers So now we need some washers. No, we don't. Let's put the power supply back together first. Now, I'm not tightening this screw up tightly. I want the board to still move. Because I'm going to put these clamps on first. I'm going to start with this clamp, which will then, the board will have basically clamp on each side, and then I can clamp the one at the top. And that's the first clamp in position. And there's the second clamp in position. Right. Now we can put the cover on, wherever I put it. I didn't really need to take the fan out. Oops. I'll put that back first. Oh, I was putting it in the wrong way around. While I've got the opportunity as well, I'm just going to push this. So pushing the grill that way a little bit, so that I don't accidentally allow it to touch the fan. Right, and plug that in. Pull you out a bit. Oh, wrong way around. So you can see where I'm putting the fan plug. Now I meant to show you that there, hello puss, and there are punches where there's 4 of them, two there, where the printed circuit board goes in between them and sits, and then the power supply has got slots in the side, and they go down over these slots at the top, and then slides down. Okay. This screw, there it is. See what's wrong. I did that up wrong first, because that one's elongated to allow you to fix this end first, where the power supply goes onto the heatsink. And there we are. That's the modification for the power supply. That is ready. To be bolted in situ with the cable. Oops, daisy. Tell you what, let me just put a nut on here. Just hold it in place so that I can then show you the, as you can see, the cable gap now. The cables will go up and there, out into the 2 MOSFETs, and then the signal wires to the board from the 2 MOSFETs can go down behind through the loop here and then onto the controller board. I have got something in mind later on which will obviate a lot of this, the controller board and the power supply and MOSFETs. They won't be all over the machine like this. Okay, the next step is wiring up the stop button, and what I'll do for that is, and the cut-off unit, what I'll do for that is I'll bring the machine down here so that you can see the modification being done. Alright people, I hope you're enjoying this. Would really appreciate it if those who haven't subscribed would click on the subscribe button and then the bell icon next to it so you get notified when I put up a video. And also would you mind checking clicking either of the like or dislike buttons? I'm not bothered which. It just means that you've watched the video and think it's a load of rubbish. If it's a thumbs down, and if you liked it, it'd be a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon.